Kia ora everyone, back again here covering my favourite LEGO theme with more Indiana Jones. This here is set 7197 Venice Canal Chase, which released back in 2009 for the second wave of LEGO Indiana Jones sets. 420 pieces there in total with 4 minifigures, all of which were exclusive here, and this retailed back in the day for I believe $40 USD before tax. Here in NZ it was priced at around $80 or so. Brick set there lists the current value in NZD at $250 or $150 in second-hand condition. Now admittedly, I didn't get this for that great of a deal. I think I paid about $120 this year as a birthday splurge purchase, but I did still seem to get it for less than what the current price is, so that's something at least. All courtesy of this community, by the way. Without the support from everyone that watches these videos, I wouldn't be able to make videos like this one. And the set overview there is a scene from Venice in Italy. We have a canal build there and 2 really cool speedboats, and I've got a couple of things to say about the setting and the movie. One of only 4 sets they're dedicated to the Last Crusade to be released, and really, at least in my eyes, it's one of only 2 scenes depicted in sets. The other 3 sets, including the latest release from 2023, all happen to depict different moments during the lengthy escape scene with Indy's dad. Like the first wave of the releases featured the small bike set, that's the beginning of the chase, and then you have the plane set, which released as part of the second wave of sets that covers the escape from the blimp, which does take place a little while later in the movie though, I'll admit, but the scene is then immediately followed by the car chase scene, which LEGO then released a set of in 2023. So The Last Crusade has always had just these chase moments adapted into their sets. The Temple of Doom though still features the least amount of coverage overall. And a very quick note on Venice, I actually bought this here Spider-Man set back at release because I didn't have this Indiana Jones set. The 2 builds are incredibly similar to one another, and I really liked that at the time, so it was bought as a placeholder essentially. We'll take a look at those boats there first, and the first confusing thing to talk about is from the instructions. The front cover has the figures dedicated to one boat, and then actually building them they seem to swap over. In the movie, Indy and Elsa take the boat with the red flag, and I'm not making this up here, you can see that in the official box art, they do have them in the boat with the black flag. They are both very similar builds to one another, but they do both have a very different play feature. If I remove those figures there, we can get a better look at the boats. I absolutely adore the designs of these things. In the movie though, the colors are just simply brown, so the accuracy points here are a little off, but I still like what I see. You can see the 2 are virtually the exact same as one another, just color swaps there where one uses a brighter brick yellow, the other uses sand yellow, both also featuring a different colored flag, and they both use the same brown body base. The underside there features some smooth tiles in blue so that you're able to drag these boats across your surface without damaging the builds. As for the details, we have a wheel there for steering and some dials and junk with 2 seats for your passengers. The other boat actually uses different printed tiles for switches and speedometers, and it still uses 2 different chairs for your passengers. We also have 2 different colors for these weight-like inclusions on the sides. Just a couple of close-ups here of some more key details to help tell the 2 apart, like this green and light grey ornament there, which is actually a red and dark grey one here. The last similarity is of course those flags, which are featured in different colors, both placed in the only section of the builds that is completely unique between the 2. It's the back section there that reveals our play feature for the boats, and they are both pretty distinct from one another. Our left boat there clearly featuring a switch of some kind here in the middle, while the boat on the right is all flat tiles for a standing space. I also noticed that the plates used for the left there use a white plate that reach the end, while the right boat there uses a smaller black plate that doesn't reach the end of that boat. And that's because that one's going to act as our switch for that boat's play feature. Looking at the red flag boat first with the switch inside, adding some minifigures there to help kind of sell that scene. You can press down on the switch and what it will do is break the boat apart. It uses some Technic pegs there to reconnect. The set actually wants you to shoot the pieces in too, but I was really hesitant at first given the age of the set and the usage of brittle brown pieces. I gave in to temptation here though, and I started playing around with this thing properly. You're gonna see me give in to possibly damaging the set later on. The instructions actually indicate how this thing works because I can't take this thing apart to show you. It uses some pieces built onto a brick there, and when you push the brick down, it's pushing down on the Technic pegs, which is what causes this thing to go shooting off. And this play feature is amazing. I was having a great time doing this repeatedly. I'm especially happy that all these years later, it still seems to work beautifully. Now as for the other boat, same thing, I'm going to take some figures there to help assemble that scene. You push down on this plate at the back and you can see it does struggle a little bit, but once I finally commit, you can send the entire engine flying. It simulates an explosion of the boats. And this feature here was equally amazing to see. I love how detailed the interior space there is for this thing. It really does look like an engine for the boat. Once you've reassembled everything, the tiles just go back on there and you can do it all again. What I was most impressed with here was the height that I was getting with these things. They were just flying up there out of frame, so I tried to move the camera back here to see how high I could send Indy. We're even further back now, and look at this, he still goes out of frame. Unfortunately, the set is not without some issues. Did you know that the seats are so close together you can't actually have two figures sitting at the front naturally? I had to readjust some of the arms there and just kind of shove them in. There's definitely some stress being caused on the pieces here, so I guess you can do it, you just can't do it intentionally. This leads to the canal setting, which basically just gives you some extra ground to display your figures. I guess the LEGO team didn't want to just have two boats for this release, so they added something there to kind of bulk out that scene. First, you've got these two pylons there, which are fine. They're different sizes to one another, and it just adds some extra detail to the side, but I don't really care for that kind of an inclusion. So first off, we have this underground section there with a manhole cover, and that piece is just sitting there, but the point is that you can place Indy inside, and it's supposed to be him and Elsa leaving the catacombs at the start of this scene. That's amazing. It's a really cool, unnecessary feature that they didn't have to throw in here. I'm really glad that the LEGO team decided not to overlook something like this. The bridge there is a very simple late 2000s design, which is great to see in contrast to the design level from the 2019 Spider-Man set. Just a couple of plates and tiles and bosh, you've got yourself a bridge. Now the seller did warn me about this though. I do have a plate there that features a broken chunk there at the back. Luckily I can just put it at the back of the set, but once more it's evident that the brittle brown pieces will strike back. There's also a map inclusion there for the set, which I just have off to the sides, and actually the docks here do showcase the final play feature for the set. There's some tiles there which are built onto a switch-like design. You can push down on them here to send that duck flying. Now this right here, a total accident. The set is so old, so the feature doesn't really work anymore, but I just stopped breathing once I realized I'd sent some brittle brown pieces flying across my setting. We will not be doing that again. What we will do is loosen up the build a little, and now we can see how the feature was originally intended. You can see the instructions here on how that set really did mean it when it says push down to send the whole thing flying, but it also wants you to secure the docks down onto the studs. This play feature here is also just as fun as the boats. I had a good time with this thing too. Our minifigures here for the set are all exclusives. A couple of character exclusives though, but they are using some similar parts to one another, so really how exclusive are we talking? This here is Indiana Jones, who is appearing as yet another variant for this channel, and thank God for that. Indiana Jones only received a tiny amount of variants where he wasn't wearing that classic outfit. Here we have him in his professor attire, and I love this style for him. The dated hairpiece there is very nostalgic to me, that suit and the tie, everything here I really love. He includes his pistol here that you can see on screen, but he does also include the hat and whip pieces, which were his staples, though they don't really fit with this kind of style for me, and I'm just so grateful to finally have a new looking Indiana Jones figure. Next up here is Elsa Schneider, who is one of the main characters from the movie and only appeared in this set. I actually thought she might have been reusing some parts before, like the face there, but no, it is actually unique to her. My confusion with that was just because the three women of the trilogy all use these bright blue eyes on their minifigures. She uses this really cool exclusive torso of a button-up shirt there, and she features a double-sided expression of the same worried look that Willie Scott features in the Temple of Doom sets, so I'm back to thinking that she might just be reusing some parts here. Then finally we have our two Brotherhood of the Cruciform Sword members, one of them actually being Kazim, the leader, and the other one simply being titled the Grail Guardian. These figures are pretty cool. They use similar parts to one another, but a difference in the head prints. So we'll take a look at Kazim here first, since he is the one featured with the exclusive face print, and the set also gives him a machine gun. I really like the color and style of the suits that these figures have, and they feature something that looks like a red poppy there. I will say I've never really liked the fez piece that LEGO used. It's a little too extreme to me, and it never looked like an item of clothing for someone to be wearing. This was 2009 though, so I'd love to see a more specialized piece used in the future. Now as for the Guardian figure, he's practically the exact same except for the face print there, which was used in just one other set before this one. The Market Stall set, also released in the second wave. It's used on the Cairo Thug minifigure, so it is still a head that's exclusive to this theme, it's just not exclusive to this set. The instructions there are actually annoyingly large. It makes packing the set away pretty tough on the Ziploc bags, theming on the inside of a map-like design, which is something that I really miss from the modern sets. I guess LEGO decided it was just a little too extra for them to try and be cool like this. The back there shows the set all complete, and we have the inventory list on 2 pages, followed by this neat image of all of the features. Very useful when filming videos here, of course. We covered all of this. It showcases features like the boats and how to blow them up, and some features about the dock. The next page then shows this really cool advertisement for the Temple of Doom set, which, man, this makes the set look a lot cooler than it actually is, because in reality, it's just a big track piece as you can see down below. and then we have an advertisement there for the video game, which was released on all consoles at the time of these sets releasing. The next page there shows us the final sets for the second series, releasing in 2009. We've got the plane set up there at the top, and the Cemetery Mystery from the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. We also have the Temple of Doom set there, and the Ambush in Cairo. All 4 movies at the time being represented in one wave of sets, which is crazy to imagine today with LEGO and their IP releases. Tragically for me, I only have one of these sets being the Cairo release. My fingers are crossed I can get my hands on these other ones sometime in the future. We then close things off here with Max from the LEGO Club, and that wraps us up. Overall, this set's really cool. It cost me quite a bit, but I think I've mentioned in other videos here on the channel how I did get other Indiana Jones sets for amazing deals, so all of that just kind of balances things out to me. I was really impressed with the design of the boats there, and I think the Venice setting is also just a cool one for your display. For me at least, I think this might be a highlight of the theme. Feeling really good about this one. Thanks for watching everyone. If you enjoyed this look at a LEGO Indiana Jones set, liking this video here and subscribing to the channel does help to support more videos like this one in the future. Ka kite anō, take care, see you all next time.